Finding and buying one great guitar for you on a shopping trip is what I'd call a success. Finding two guitars that fit you and you lust after and you play and love in a shopping trip is an even bigger success, although it's a little bit mad. Now, if I were to buy 3 guitars that I fell in love with, that I played and fell in love with, and that looked so great to me that I lust after them, if I were to do 3 of those in a day, and one of them was a Masterbuilt Fender, and the other one was a Murphy Lab Gibson, and the last one was, well, you'll find out soon, that's what I called the fever dream. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've just ruined a couple of surprises for you, and you should go and watch part 1, and then part 2, and then part 3, and now we're on part 4. I'm going to go back a couple of steps for a minute and work you up to, the last thing. All I can say so far is it's been so much fun. Hopefully this can become like an annual thing. It's not going to become a monthly thing, clearly. Right, let's get on with it. And lastly, I'm going guitar shopping at Peach Guitars on Friday. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to take my camera along. They've said I can record a few little bits and pieces. I'm mainly SG hunting, so I'll probably walk away with a Strat. You know how it goes. Hey mate, this is coming home.
Yeah.
It's bloody brilliant.
That's something special.
I love it.
The Masterbuilt normally are.
It's the first Masterbuilt I've ever picked up, and everyone says, oh, it's a con.
Yeah.
No, it's quite different.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they've got really expensive, but that's just the way the market is.
That's it.
If you don't mind, I just want to try that Flying V and the R0.
Of course, yeah.
And then, but if they're not
Sure.
the one, that's the thing. I might have to leave that gold SG, even though I got on with it really well.
Yeah. Slightly towards the
Okay.
quite the spot. There's a Les Paul, I think, something like that, which goes close to the sound. Just that much good, I think.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard to get on the stand. So.
Fair enough. Oh, this is nice and clear sounding, isn't it? For people who've been on my channel for quite a long time, you'll know that I did a series a while back called Finding My Tone. This is when I was sort of like 6 months, a year into my playing, and I would go through different pedals and guitars and everything, trying to figure it out. As far as humbuckers are concerned, this for me is the best sound I've ever had on the channel, and one of the best. Well, for me, it's the best humbucker guitar I've ever played personally, purely because I grew up listening to classic rock and bloody loving it. That guitar brings me to life, and that's what this whole series has been about. Yeah, it can be compulsive purchasing. It can just be buying stuff for the sake of it, all of that. My brain doesn't work like that. I'm someone that likes to sort of look into everything, think about the reasons why I've done something. This whole last two and a bit years since the pandemic started, whatever it's been, I took the choice to really go on a journey. And I know so many of you people have. All of you lovely people have. Whether you've started up with instruments or learnt languages or read 1,000 books or learnt how to cook better or whatever it is, and I've done a few of those things, and this is the most life-affirming thing I've ever done in my life. Coming back to music, coming back to playing the guitar, finding these instruments is not, I'm not just looking for bling. I would buy something else that I didn't care about as much if that was the case. I feel something with each of these instruments, and much more so with these three that I've bought in person. A lot of the other instruments I haven't. I bought all my case guitars in person. I had the case strap built for me. Those instruments give me a real feeling. I could have just as easily walked out of Peach with nothing. I went in with that mindset. Yes, you want to buy something. Of course you do. But, I had the money waiting there. I could go back somewhere else the next week. It doesn't matter. I came home from Peach and I thought, I'm so happy with my Strat and my Les Paul. Why did I leave the gold SG behind? In retrospect, I don't have a really good reason why I did, except that I didn't think I could buy 3 guitars in one day and feel good about that in a way, and certainly not show it off to people. And this whole thing is not about showing off. It's fun to share the journey. But I would do this if I didn't have the cameras on. It's not, it's just part of my life. And I woke up on a Saturday morning. That was the next morning, and I'd just spent the whole night sort of waking up thinking, in fact, the Gold SG was my favorite guitar that day, somehow. Yes, the Strat is crazy and I love it. The Les Paul fills the 1960 reissue hole that I've been wanting to fill for 2 years. But this SG... Now, let me say something here, right? Every time and I see with lots of other YouTube channels, say something like, this is the best thing I've ever played, this is the best thing I've ever done. And then at some point, someone in the comments will say, oh yeah, you found another new toy, or whatever it is that they want to say. I want to say to those people, like, don't be a bloody party pooper. At this minute, I'm so like in touch with this Gold SG and what it means to me. I grew up playing a Strat, but also an SG, and I played a lot on my SG. I mean, thousands of hours, and I used to play that in gigs more than the Strat because I wanted a humbucker. For the music, we were doing a lot of classic rock. And it was a 200 quid Epiphone that I bought after I spent 2 weeks of the summer repainting my our house, the windows. And I went out to what we call a cash converter here. It's like a pawn shop, and I bought this red SG. It was just an Epiphone. I had no idea. It was the best thing I'd ever bought. Obviously, I was like, I don't know how old, 14. And I played it, and then one day I think I gave that one away to someone who wanted a guitar when I was about 19, and I'd stopped playing, and I kept the Strat because that was the one my parents bought me, and I gave the SG away as well as a couple of other guitars. And feeling this SG, this gold one, just brings me home, brings me back to childhood, and it makes me excited about carrying on this journey because look, I've been through like so many of you, I've been through a heck of an amount of emotional journey through the last 2 years with so many different parts of my life. But in terms of this musical journey, like, I'm trying to find a place where I can create something and share it with people. and having the instrument that brings you to life. Yeah, I'm really lucky, and that's the last thing I want to portray in these videos is I'm really lucky, and I know that. I actually worried about this a lot for about a year and a half when I started the channel. You know, how can I push this in people's faces when I'm just doing something that everyone would love to do, I'm sure. And it's only recently I've realized I can do this, I want to do this, and actually if I don't do it, then I can't share it with you. And if sharing with some of you puts a smile on your face as much as it does mine, then that's all I want. So yeah, this has been a fantastic day for me at Peach and the following few days and doing all this stuff. But if you said to me you could only keep one of the 3 guitars, actually I'd keep the SG. It's not logical that I say that, given that it's the cheapest, and I could probably find another gold SG that I liked, possibly, but out of the SGs I played that day, I only loved this one. So it's not just that I love SGs, this guitar. Right, anyway, that all got a bit serious for a minute. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. And at this point, I should probably say, if you're new to the channel and you subbed and commented, you're actually in to win this when I hit 6,000 subs. So if you weren't even aware of that, thank you very much. I'll send it anywhere in the world. If you're new, subscribe, comment. I'll give this away at 6,000 subs. And last thing I want to say before I play out on a montage sort of thing is John, the owner of Peach, came and had a chat with me, and he's something I like about Peach guitars is everyone there's really passionate about guitars. They all play, they all buy their own instruments. John collects guitars and amps, and he showed me around a bit. And he's gonna let me come and borrow a couple of his fantastic amps. Probably the 2-Rock Silver Sterling and maybe his vintage Super Reverb. So anyway, moving on. I've had a really good time. I hope you have too, and I'll see you next time.